Everyone, we are here with writer, director, actor Kyle Butenhoff, and he has a new film, excuse me, a new film coming out Friday, January 12th, called Laced. How are you, Kyle?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Thanks for taking the time. Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, can you just give me kind of the quick summary of Laced? What is Laced about?
So Laced is like an isolated domestic thriller. It's cabin, record-breaking blizzard outside, and this is the night that a wife decides that her husband's got to go. You know what I mean? So as it's very inspired by like the kind of golden age of cinema, those Hitchcockian thrillers. So like those Hitchcockian thrillers, the plan, you see the plan at the beginning, and then the rest of the movie is just, oh, life gets in the way, fate, and kind of it's just kind of like a I don't know if fun's the right word, but it is a thrill ride.
Yeah, definitely. Is there
Yeah.
is there a particular thing that inspired you to write this, or did this just kind of just come to mind? How did
I was actually like super deep, like 75 pages deep into like this conspiracy thriller that I got. The conspiracy got so thick that I didn't know what was going on, and I got super frustrated. And in times where I get a little bit down, I like to turn on a movie. I mean, that's what all of us are here about. Like we're just big movie lovers, right?
yeah.
And on the TV was Dial M for Murder, and I was like, oh, that's how you can shoot something for basically nothing, which is what we had, which is just four characters, one location, and kind of letting the emotions and the objectives of the character kind of speak for themselves.
Yeah, you're referencing Dial for Murder, and in the press notes there was also a reference to Rear Window. Personally, my favorite Hitchcock, Rear Window. Um
Totally agree. I,
like
I would say top two for me.
yeah, it's the tension and just the time they take to develop the characters is just totally on point. Um but my question is like how how do you build suspense? Um
Mm.
how do you build suspense in a tiny place like that, like Hitchcock did?
I think that building suspense is all about like getting people to care. Like if I look, I love a good slasher as much as the next person, where you're just like, oh, they're gonna get it. You know what I mean? But I think for thrillers, especially if they're a bit more grounded, if we're feeling they're gonna get it, then I think we've lost the plot somewhere. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I think establishing like, oh, like these people are real. These people are like have like lives outside of just this night, so that when you experience like, oh, something really bad's going to happen to this person, it carries weight with it. And then from a technical aspect, music is 75% of like why you feel anything in a thriller. Like our composer Steph Copeland just did an incredible job,
Mhm.
and really carries a lot of weight.
Yeah, so I mean, definitely care, and I Hitchcock also mentioned, just setting something up and letting the audience wait for that to happen. Like they know what's going to go down. They're just waiting. Um, so talk to me about Charlie. Who is Charlie, and why did you cast yourself as this guy?
Um, well, I'm an actor. I came to this project as an actor first and foremost, because but it was such a great opportunity because unfortunately it was like mid pandemic. No, Hollywood was shut down. I had this script lying around, and basically one night over the holidays we all got a bit tipsy and we're like, we got this. We could how hard could a feature film really be? And the answer is we're talking 3 years after that conversation. Uh, but laced with Charlie, he's he's a complicated guy. I think that like the the worst version of this movie paints him as like an absolute monster. Like we you it really because um the all the characters in the movie have like moral shades of gray, right?
Right, right.
Like there's no one who's just like a mustachio twirling villain. I mean, Hermione gets close, but uh, everyone has like motives and reasons why they do the things that they do. So I think Charlie's just a guy who's just like knows that he's messed up. He's trying to save his marriage as best he can, but knows that he's probably already crossed the bridge too far,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's very relatable for people, I think we all know that feeling where you're just like, oh, I've messed this up too bad to repair,
Hmm.
but you're kind of still in it. I mean, Charlie and Molly have been, together and known each other since, elementary school. Sorry, my phone did a low battery.
You're fine.
They've always been around each other. So it's kind of like I grew up in Park, Colorado. You still see a lot of the relationships like, oh, they're still together.
Yeah.
And so the whole concept and conceit of this movie was like, what if that relationship was not one that should have lasted 15 years? They're 26 and they're already feeling like they're an old married couple.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
You mentioned uh the shoot and dealing with the pandemic. Can you tell me when and where you shot? How long was the shoot?
Yeah, we shot for 16 days in Colorado in an isolated cabin. The closest population to us was a prison. We were like far away from any society, so we had to like, and which was perfect for the pandemic because we had our own little mini bubble.
Yeah.
But we had to truck everything up a mountain. We were on top of a mountain, and because we shot uh, day for night, we had to tent the entire house to create that blackout. And that's great until 40-mile-per-hour winds start gusting and the
Oh
house is
God.
literally like lifted off of its foundation.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, it's the amount of things that I mean, filmmaking is just putting out fires, honestly. It's just
Yeah,
like, oh,
putting out fires and traffic copping.
yeah, it's here's the emergency for today. I mean, the shooting in the pandemic was crazy just because like we literally had to cast like alternate Colorado actors to our Los Angeles based actors because if one of our LA actors popped and tested positive for COVID, we would have to have someone in the state who was ready to go and fill their spot because the 2 week quarantine period, the 2 weeks was our entire shoot. And there was not enough money to like do a pause.
Right. Oh
So
God,
it's
man.
just trying to like it's playing chess. It's just trying to set up all of the answers before the questions start coming.
Right, right, right. It's yeah, and it's such a miracle that a film gets made, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
and it makes it to the screen. And now it's gonna happen for you. January 12th
Yeah.
in theaters and VOD. And the film looks, you talk about it being such a small production, but the film looks great, you know.
Thank you. That is a big, big. Sam Robinson, my cinematographer, who's been one of my friends for many years, he's a real reason. The lighting that he does in this film is really exemplary, and half the time I was looking down the barrel and I was like, oh yeah, that's we got this, not but that again the thing is that like his lighting is excellent, but also that cabin had so many windows. We have to like, okay, the camera's moving this way, but also
We don't want to
we're
show
gonna
up here. We don't want to go.
so
Yeah.
that light. Like it's always just like a little jigsaw puzzle.
Well, yeah. Congratulations on this one, and best of luck on this release. So yeah, excellent. I can't wait for people to see this one.
Yeah, yeah, no, me too. It's nice to finally be at the end of this journey and be able to share this thing that we love so much with everybody that we care about.
Excellent. Well, Kyle, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck on this release, and everybody, Laced comes out Friday, so check it out. Thanks, Kyle.
No problem. Thanks, man.